and welcome to No Such Thing as a Bad Movie podcast. I'm April Itmansky, and I'm here today with
Justin DeClue
and Colin Cunningham.
And today we're talking about a hilarious movie.
April was laying it on thick after, right before we recorded. I'm like, I don't know if there was very much funny in this.
You guys are incorrect. We're talking about 2013's Temptation, no?
Hold on a sec. No, it's Tyler Perry's Temptation.
Oh, yeah, how dare you forget the ghost of Tyler Perry will come and attack you.
Put your name in his mouth.
Tyler Perry.
His name in your mouth.
Temptation, Confessions of a Marriage Counselor.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is I've never seen a Tyler Perry film.
Me neither. I've
in
seen
my
this
life.
before, but I have never seen any of his oeuvre.
I was just looking him up. I'm aware of him. You know, he's popped up in other movies like Gone Girl. He was in 2009 Star Trek.
Yep. Very briefly as one of the Starfleet command people.
Must be why I don't remember him.
Don't you remember him from the classic Alex Cross reboot directed by Bob Cohen?
A movie I haven't seen but was lambasted when it came out for its shaky cam.
Oh, wait, he also played, isn't it that Fly Man in the Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows movie?
What?
Yeah. What's his name?
Are you talking about the cartoon?
Yeah, no. The live action, you know, the one where they look like dicks?
Oh, wait, the Michael Bay one?
Yeah, he was Baxter Stockman in the second one.
I don't know
haven't
who
seen
that
the
is.
second one. I did see the first one, but Lord knows if I remember
Baxter Stockman
anything.
is like the Fly Man. I don't remember if he turns into a Fly Man in the live action movie. Probably not, I would say. But
maybe he's a fan. I mean, I just looked Tyler Perry up. He's a billionaire.
Oh yeah, he has his own Tyler Perry universe because he like cranks out sitcom shows.
He's got like a partnership with Oprah.
Yep.
He bought an old Air Force base or something, or military base in Atlanta, Georgia in like 2015 or something like that. And it has like 12 sound stages, like parks, like everything you'd need to like shoot an entire movie there pretty much.
Yep.
Tons of sets, like dozens
Don't you
of
dare
sets.
unionize!
Yeah, well, good for. I mean, I was aware that he is a mogul.
Yeah.
And obviously his material has an audience. I think more his TV stuff than his movies, because I never really hear other than the
he became
Medeas.
famous thanks to his plays, which then transitioned into adaptation through movies and stuff like that.
His plays were famous.
Oh, very famous, yes. That's what he's most famous for. And a lot of his films are adaptations of his plays.
Right,
well,
this one.
This one is. But yeah, I really didn't know that. I mean, I only heard about him when like Medea
The
started
Medea films
coming
are
out.
crazy popular.
Now, was that a show first?
I have no idea.
I believe she crossed over. She's a really a multimedia phenomenon, if you will.
Herself, yeah.
All I remember is Spike Lee giving him shit for something like that.
Yeah, his movies are bad,
his
really
buffoonery.
bad.
Well,
And and like moralistically like repugnant.
Very, very judgy.
Well,
and-
it's my understanding that all of his movies are like that, and I mean, I don't know if they all are. I don't know if the Medea ones are, but
they are.
like they're
Absolutely.
like morality plays that you would do in church to teach people a lesson.
Yeah, that's
which
what he started
brings
doing
us to Temptation.
on the stage was morality plays.
Exactly. I don't get it.
Because he's making plays. He started out writing plays.
That's literally a thing, a morality play. That's what it's called.
Oh, okay.
I think it's like a genre of religious play.
Is that why they don't show any of the like cocaine or anything?
Yeah.
Everything's sort of hidden in this movie.
They can't show sex. The most swear they have is ass. It's a religious movie. Anyway, this movie is great. I just want to say, I'm not going to say that this is legitimately a good movie. Of course not. But I feel like this is up there with Twilight, 50 Shades of Grey for a ridiculous movie that has taken itself way too seriously and has horrible sexual politics, horrible morals in it. I mean, it's just next in the line between all of those. Hilarious acting and just the worst script ever, and there's some parts that I think are trying to be funny and are not, and there's parts that are unintentionally funny.
I'll start right here, and I want April to convince me. I just don't think it's crazy enough. I felt it was really flat. And you know what? In comparison to the other movies that you mentioned, 50 Shades of Grey and Twilight, sure, I guess this is better than those two.
Hey, have you seen 50 Shades of Grey?
No, I haven't. But I have seen 50 Shades of Black, thank you very much. The Marlon Wayans parody movie.
Oh, no, he did not, did he?
Oh, yes, he did.
Oh, yeah, you didn't know about that?
Oh, my God.
Well, I mean, the reason I even watched this movie years ago was because this was making the rounds on some bad movie podcasts and such. And I watched it and I thought it was hilarious. And maybe you just need to be a little more feminine minded and have seen a lot of these kind of like romantic drama tropes before. But because, you know, it's funny to see them like done, but with this horrible like moral judging of this character.
Tyler Perry hanging over, wagging his finger at you as you watch the movie.
Exactly. And I mean, there's a lot I think is really funny and enjoyably bad about this movie. Although I will say, I don't think it's technically bad, because I remember Justin, you had said that his movies look bad.
Oh yeah, they look awful. This one doesn't look so bad. And I actually checked to see if it came out after 50 Shades of Grey, because it definitely has that feel like it's imitating that cinematography, but it came out before.
It came out before what, sorry?
50 Shades of Grey.
There.
Oh, 50 Shades of Grey. No, it is before that, but
it's definitely competent. I mean, like it looks well shot. You know, it's not
his movies look like shit.
Anything.
Like even the one at the end, The Rock shows up as himself. I think his newer movies even look worse now.
Like, do they have that Christian movie look? Like,
like
horrible
kind of
lighting
cheap and plasticky, like not really well lit.
I didn't have a problem with this at all.
No, I didn't have any problem with this one at all either. Which is another thing that made me go, oh, it looks too slick when I was watching it.
I like it because it doesn't hurt my eyes or my ears to watch.
But how does it compare to Fight of Fury?
Oh, come on now.
Color correct in this looked great.
Okay. Fight of Fury level, right?
Except for at the beginning when they're trying to do like sepia tone for their childhood. And it's like, what time period is this supposed to be? It was just incredibly confusing.
1920s, I guess?
Yeah, it looked like 1920s.
There's just a lot of really stupid shit in this. And that's why I enjoy it. It's, like I said, it's a really poorly written script. And before we get into the plot, I also want to say Journey Smollett is the main character's name.
Journey Smollett.
I thought she was a good actress. We've seen her in things recently.
Yeah, she was good in Lovecraft County.
Yeah, she was. Well, we only watched the first couple episodes, but she was fantastic. She was good in Birds of Prey, although she doesn't really talk a lot in that. She is so bad in this movie, and it's hilarious. Like her performance is she's doing like a Joker at one point.
Is she worse than Kim Kardashian in this? Kim Kardashian, by the way, is in this movie.
Kim Kardashian might be worse because she's not an actress.
And she talks like this all the time.
Kind of.
Hey,
she
Justin.
talks like this, which was a shock to me because I didn't know.
I can hear you.
I didn't know that's what her
Kim,
voice
is that you?
sounded like.
It's me. It's me.
I have a lot of thoughts about your new mobile game I've been playing.
Oh.
Listen, I have no experience with Kim Kardashian at all. I have nothing to add.
No, it's just she's in this, and I think it was just stunt casting.
Oh, of course.
Celebrity is in this movie, and Vanessa Williams, I guess, is technically a celebrity as well. Other than that, not really anyone famous.
Vanessa Williams sporting the worst French accent you've ever heard.
Yeah,
this
might be one of my favorite things.
Yeah, this is like grade school. Children acting. It's like, do a French accent.
Okay, and you will work with Ali on my new proposal. Like it's pretty hilarious.
Yeah.
I already talked about how at the beginning we start off with them being childhood, but before that, there's also a hilarious framing device in this movie for no reason at all, really.
It gets more comical when
it's pointless
towards the
and
end,
confusing.
Yeah. So it's I don't know, quote unquote present day.
It's a marriage counselor, I guess. Mm-hmm. What is her job supposed to be? It's like the most busy office in the world.
I don't know what this is, but
there's like a sign.
I thought it was a police station for a second.
Yeah, it says like social working something, but it's like
social worker.
It's like an open office with people with desks running all over the place. Mm-hmm. That is not where you go.
It's like Brazil. It's like dun 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 dun.
That is not where you go to get marriage counseling.
Yeah, and then so this woman is given this couple counseling, I guess. The husband storms out. Now the woman giving the the marriage counselor, I guess from the title, you can tell that, I mean, they're not making her look old, but you can tell they're intentionally making her look very plain.
She looks like in It's a Wonderful Life when Jimmy Stewart sees
Yes.
his wife and he's
Yes.
like, oh my God, she's a librarian.
Oh, yeah, she's an old
Her
maid.
hair's kind of up, and she's wearing glasses and like a turtleneck, and that's about it. Yeah.
Yeah, she's very reserved in her dress. So she's like counseling this couple. The husband kind of storms off, and then the wife says something, and the counselor is like, you're seeing another man. You met someone. And he's sharing you with
She's
gifts.
so good.
And she's like, how did you know? She's like, let me tell you a story about my sister.
Sister. She looks around. She's like, her name is Couch.
And she's like, what did she want to be? A marriage counselor. It's like, oh, damn, I should have said something else.
And right off the bat,
I should have said child counselor.
Spoiler, it's actually her. It's our main character.
But it's so obvious.
But it's so obvious because at no point in the flashback do you ever see the sister.
There is no sister in this character's
never
life.
mentioned, never seen.
She forgot that it was a poorly planned
Oh, she like
cover-up.
lost her train of thought as she was talking.
Yeah, she just started saying, "Well, then I went and did this." I mean, Judith did this.
I refer to my sister as I.
Also, she's
sometimes.
calling her Judith the whole time. Like, is this woman's name is also Judith that you find out at the end?
Yeah.
So
the couple does not know her name.
Okay. Anyway,
yeah,
it's just it's a logical fallacy of one of many in this movie.
And there is a switcheroo when it's revealed later on that this is supposed to be our main character. Completely different actresses.
Yeah.
Even though the rest of the actors in present day who appeared in the flashbacks look identical. So it's just something that they did.
Don't you view yourself differently when you look in the mirror? It's like muscle, just like, yeah, how's it going, Colin?
It was just there to fool the audience.
It was just done to mislead the audience.
That's
and
something Shyamalan would do.
Yeah, but at the very end, when we come back to it, which we'll get to, it's comical because it makes no sense, and it's just the old.
And some of the characters have
trickaroo.
aged, and some haven't. But yeah, it's funny.
But yeah, we flash back. It looks like it's the 1920s South. It's like sepia toned or like kind of warm
I guess they were from a
tones.
really poor part where they didn't have televisions or phones.
Yeah, they're living out in the country. You get in the pickup truck, you go wrestle some pigs and stuff like that.
I guess so. And they don't even say where. They're just like the South.
The South somewhere.
South of the Mason-Dixon line.
Yeah, they do say that. But I mean, come on.
Yeah, so you see our quote unquote the sister Judith and her friend Bryce. They're like childhood friends.
She's just narrating, and it's like they had an instant connection, and it's a montage essentially of their childhood, which reminded me a lot of Jenny and Forrest Gump. They were doing similar things like climbing trees and running around,
as you do in the 1920s South.
Yeah.
And then
they
I
get
guess
married?
They get married, but then we realize it's not the 1920s. It's like, I don't know, the 1990s.
You know what, Colin? If
2000s?
smiles were dollars, they would be rich.
They would have millions.
They would have millions. It's just the beginning of some of the terrible lines in this.
So they move from the South and they move to Washington, D.C. And boy, do we ever know that it's Washington, D.C. Because
how many times do you think they
every
play?
chance.
Wait. Do you mean they splurged on stock footage?
Exactly.
They did shoot in DC because it's on IMDb, so maybe they shot those overheads and they just kept reusing them.
Yeah, because boy, oh boy, it's like every time they cut away from a scene,
it's like The Room.
It goes to stock footage of DC, and it's like the most energetically filmed stock footage.
It's like Tony Scott outtakes.
Yeah,
it's insane.
It's like zooming all over the place.
Yeah, it's like we got bullet zooms and whip pans and all this sort of stuff, and it does not fit with the rest of the movie
I think that
at
was
all.
Tyler Perry just being like, make it exciting, like we gotta move this story forward. It can't just be a boring story where people are just talking.
I mean, but it is a story where people are just talking.
Oh, you failed, Tyler Perry.
No, I've been proven to be the sham I am. Thank you. No such thing as a bad movie.
As he mops his tears with like $1 million bills.
Like $1,000 million bills.
Yeah.
Good for you, Tyler Perry.
I mean, he wanted to make a movie where
Tyler
he talked
Perry
about
and his union busting ways. ways.
Does he really not like unions?
Oh, yeah.
So is that the deal in Tyler Perry Studios?
On his sitcoms, he's the only credited writer as well. He's like, I write all my scripts. It's like, no, he
That's
doesn't.
not how sitcoms work.
Yep.
I see.
He's lost a few points in my book then.
Wow. Whatever.
But we jump ahead to present day. So
Washington, D.C.
Yeah, it makes no sense, but we're now just in 2013. And so...
Set the scene. Obama's in the White House. All of our problems are over.
Yeah, well, Judith is really unhappy because she's like got her first job out of college, I guess, but she couldn't make it as a marriage counselor right away. So she has to work for like a millionaire matchmaker type thing.
How could you not?
I know.
Like, make it as a marriage counselor.
I don't know.
Like, start a marriage counseling business.
I don't know the requirements.
The person who wrote
Big
this...
marriage counseling, shut her down.
The person who wrote the script, whoever that was,
Tyler Perry,
doesn't know what a marriage counselor is or how they work.
I mean, if you go see a marriage counselor, you've already got problems, and you're already going to go to hell.
Yeah, so he not.
So
he
says
would
Tyler
ever
Perry.
Go. Yeah. So they keep saying, "I want to open my own firm." It's not a law practice.
Law firm. Do you need a license to be a marriage counselor? I don't know.
Well, now I'm guessing you can just be like a therapist, but yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
But you don't need to have money to start a firm. You usually work out of your house, and then maybe you might join
or like an
a
office you rent with a bunch of other people.
Yeah,
a bunch of people.
A bunch of other therapists.
I mean, I could start a marriage counseling business like in my own home right now.
Well, yeah,
Sure,
but I
you
don't.
could if you
Was
want.
this
I mean,
this
you probably
happening
have to be
7 years
licensed
ago?
in some way.
Whatever.
I think so, but like maybe
thinking of getting out of
home therapist was less common then in 2013.
I'm just thinking, if I want to make the move out of VFX.
You could be a marriage counselor.
I just want to, make the move out of VFX, go into like marriage counseling. Could be a pretty sweet gig.
Well, yeah, I'm sure you know a lot about the subject.
I don't know. Just make it up as I go. Does she know? I don't know.
Probably be better than. Hey, she has a degree. She went to school and she worked so hard to get this degree.
And her husband Bryce.
Yeah.
It says his dream was one day working at a small pharmacy that he could take over eventually. And he works at a pharmacy. It looks like it's from the 1950s. I don't know. This does not look like it's in Washington,
What do you
D.C.
mean? It's not from the 1950s. There's a rapping granny behind the counter.
It also says like pharmacy and soda jerk or something.
Yeah, pharmacy and soda fountain on the
oh my
outside.
God.
It looks like we're in like Mayberry or something. It doesn't look like Washington.
I feel like this play was written for like a different setting and time period.
Sure, yeah.
Because there's no reason why these two people would be in a big city only so she can be seduced by the lifestyle, the big city
April,
lifestyle.
it's like the classic Julie Taymor film Titus. All the different technology and eras are bashing into each other for emotional value.
Okay, all right, you're selling me on
You
it.
sold me.
Julie Taymor, Tyler Perry, they're on the same level.
Yeah.
I think they are.
And don't forget, she is telling the story. So all of her nostalgia and, her own images are what is being shown on screen.
True.
Not the reality. It's like Usual Suspects.
It's a real How I Met Your Mother type situation.
Yeah, it's like, memory, it kind of like bleeds together.
So she imagines it as a 1950s pharmacy.
Only the pharmacy that she is never at. So
Yeah, she's never been there.
she works.
Wait a minute. You're telling me this story. Whose perspective is this from? How come
I don't
see
know.
scenes
Yeah,
that you're
that's
not
true. She's definitely
Yeah, what the hell?
there
I just
for
thought
other
about that.
scenes that she's not in. But
This
But
is
again,
ridiculous.
she's telling the story. That's how.
that's
Maybe
just
she
how
just
she imagines, Brandy. Oh, I forgot Brandy's in this. She's pretty famous.
Yeah, she's pretty famous.
Although what had she done like around the time this came out? I don't think
have no
she's
idea.
still like. But the '90s fans were there for her, including me.
Yeah. So we cut to her. She works at a matchmaker's office run by Vanessa Williams with a very fakey French accent,
which we mentioned. And Judith loathes this job. And I guess it's believable that, you couldn't get your dream job, so you take whatever you can get. But she's like rude to everybody and like bad talks the company and her boss like to everyone, even at the company.
Right.
She's a horrible employee, is what I'm saying.
I guess like the matchmaker, this is like a matchmaker's business for millionaires.
Which is
or
a real
billionaires.
thing.
How is it? How many?
There was a TV
clients
show
have-
about it.
That's called an escort service, isn't it?
Well, it's well, kind of, but like there was a TV show called Millionaire Matchmaker, and it starred like a Jewish matchmaker, which still happens even today, but for millionaires. But yeah, like they bring like models in, and they would film the dates on the show, and then they would talk to both of them after and see if they still wanted to go out. So I'm sure it does happen, but yeah, it is very escort.
I would
service-y.
assume that the person that's not a millionaire would still want to go out with the
person who's not a millionaire is basically just, looking for their meal ticket, as they say.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's like they want another date, of course.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the one episode of Millionaire Matchmaker I saw, I'm going to go on a tangent and talk about this. So it was like, a good looking woman, and they go golfing, and this is all on film. And the guy who's like this, like 27-year-old dude bro is like, I need to go pee. So he just goes in the bush while they're golfing. And she's just like, okay, yeah, you do your thing. And then the matchmaker calls her after, how was your day? She's like, he fucking peed in front of me. I never want to see him again. And she confronts the millionaire, and he's like, I don't know, I just had to go. It's
I'm a millionaire. I've never had to face any consequences in my entire life.
A golf course is my toilet. So anyway.
He's like, your mouth would be my toilet if I wanted it to be. I'm a millionaire.
By the way, I bought the golf course and I closed it down. Hope you don't
I also bought your
apartment.
apartment. You're on the street now.
Looks like you have to go on a second date.
Yeah. Anyway, real thing.
Millionaire matchmaker. Watch these women go out with real pieces of shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Because if they're millionaires, they probably did some real evil stuff.
Really
or
nasty shit.
they're the children of really evil people.
The children of assholes.
Sometimes they had women millionaires on there.
Did you see the one of the Spielberg children was like,
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
just having the name Spielberg doesn't automatically open doors. I have to get by on my own talent.
No,
It's
you
like,
don't.
People must think she's one of those other Spielbergs.
Yeah.
And did you see that article started with equestrian turned filmmaker?
Oh, no. Are you kidding?
And then, don't worry, Ben Stiller jumped in to be like, hey, it's tough, out there, even if you do have connections. Ben Stiller, the son of very famous comedians.
Yeah.
Jerry Stiller.
Yeah, I mean, it is tough out there, even, for millionaires.
It's hard out there for a Spielberg.
Yeah, listen, even though you have every opportunity at your fingertips and you don't have any financial worries, that makes it more tough. Because all you'll think about is what if you fail and you'll have to go live in the mansion that your dad bought you.
It's true. I mean, literally everyone in Hollywood is related to somebody famous, or they have rich parents. Especially directors, because it's expensive to make a movie. Anyway,
what are you talking about? JJ
Abrams.
Oh wait, his dad is
Yeah.
one of the most famous agents in town.
Yeah.
Oh, how could I know?
It never stops. You could,
Well, actually, I don't think JJ Perry, which is the name that I said, who is a very famous action choreographer, he did start on the bottom, but JJ Abrams, not so much.
hang on. What about Tyler Perry? Is he a self-made
I don't think
man?
he had any connections.
Probably,
no.
yeah.
All you got to do is go on Wikipedia and look at early life and see
Or you just
who their
listen to the
parents
episode we
were.
did on the Important Cinema Club. I remember we talked about it at length, but like most episodes, I've completely sandblasted those facts from my mind.
Yes, so if you want to hear more about Tyler Perry, check out the Important Cinema Club episode.
She's talking to you, Justin.
I read a book on
you
I
remember.
read a book on him for that episode.
Did he write it?
No, it was like someone who went movie by movie and kind
Oh,
of analyzed them.
Okay, so...
Anyway, so she's working for this marriage counselor. She hates it.
In this scene, we meet Kim Kardashian,
And she's
who's like
just
her office
so
mate.
mean to her.
She's mean. She's always telling her how horribly she dresses and how gross she looks.
And, like-
Journey Smollett is fucking gorgeous. She's like super beautiful.
She's a knockout, and she looks beautiful.
There's no way
even
she
wearing
could,
those.
she could be wearing like a plastic bag.
Well, her clothes aren't ugly, but I guess they're just not glamorous enough or whatever. And I think that the point of this, the constant Kim Kardashian telling, you're ugly, you need to stand out, I think that is supposed to be like wrong and evil. It's evil to try and look pretty. right?
Oh yeah, you're supposed to look like me.
You shouldn't preen yourself and wear tight dresses and makeup. Like I that's the message I'm getting from the movie, because it leads you down the road of sin.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
That's pride, isn't it?
I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
one of
it's
the
just-
7 deadly sins.
Okay, Kevin Spacey.
all the 7 deadly sins are not in this movie.
Is that what the 7 deadly sins are most associated with now? David Fincher's 7? As opposed to a book that has lasted since the beginning of time, Colin?
What, 7 was a book before?
Yeah, man. It was the prequel. How they got there. How he got those sins.
7 the novel. Tyler Perry's 7. Confessions of a Serial Killer.
Okay, so we're introduced to the other main character of this
Harley.
movie. Harley, last name.
Yeah, he walks into the office, and of course, Judith doesn't know who he is, and Kim Kardashian.
Oh my God, he's the 3rd most famous tech billionaire after Zuckerberg.
Yeah, he's Zuckerberg. He's
That's the real man behind the Facebook, not Zuckerberg.
Hey,
He's
this is
just the
the
patsy.
second movie where Journey has to call her co-host Harley. Harley Quinn.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Anyway, so this guy is a kind of a creep.
He's like a Zuckerberg. So he's created a website called Classmeet. Mm-hmm. And I guess he wants to invest in the company.
But he also seems like he wants a date. Like he comes to Judith and is like, you know, hook me up with your system, you know?
Yeah, I
they
think
have some algorithm.
Yeah, it seems like he wants to work with Judith or somebody at the whatever matchmaker's office to come up with an algorithm. He wants to invest, and I guess like take his Classmeet algorithms and apply them to like finding the perfect match for people on this website.
I love like fake app and website names
Classmate.
in movies. Yeah, Degrassi has Face Range. I wanted to call Classmate Face Range, and Oomph Chat is another one. I think that's supposed to be like Snapchat. Or like the funny like versions of Google in movies that
The
people
one,
make up.
But
I'm
it's
thinking of
impossible to make any other name because the real names are just as dumb.
Yeah.
Twitter,
True.
Google.
Yeah.
I remember on the IT crowd they had Friend Face.
Yeah, I mean that sounds about right.
Yeah, so he's Harley, and then I guess they meet or something like that, and then he's like, whoa, I want to work with her. So Vanessa Williams is like, okay, you're going to work with Harley.
And he's taken with Judith immediately, specifically because she's demure and seems kind of like ignorant of like the big city. He's latching himself onto her because she's the opposite of Kim Kardashian, essentially, because he wants a good girl he can mold. It's very obvious right from the beginning, even though he is acting nice and he's charming and, you know, he's good looking and but I mean he like straight up is just like, you're beautiful, like right when they meet.
Constantly like abusing her and like, I want to fuck you. Like right up until he sexually assaults.
That comes later. Yeah.
He doesn't say that exactly, but you know, he's just like, I just want to be around you. And this is like the 3rd time they've met, and it's like incredibly inappropriate, obviously. I mean, that's what this movie is about.
Right. It's here that we meet. We go back to the 1950s pharmacy and soda fountain, which is run by this crazy old lady, by the way. I didn't see anybody else in the pharmacy except for these two.
There's like a customer once in a while.
I wonder if it's like just like a set on Tyler Perry Studios.
Oh, totally.
Backlot or something like that.
Well, this was filmed mostly in Atlanta, so
yeah, I wonder.
There you go.
That is probably why it says pharmacy and soda fountain. It's just like generic pharmacy.
Yeah, he's had it built like years before.
Yeah,
it's like an old Western town.
Yeah, exactly.
Next time
Or like Degrassi, like they have like all the pre-built streets and stuff like that.
Oh, there you go.
And so we already mentioned Brandy. She's the
Brandy
new
comes
girl.
in. She's looking for a job, and so they start like asking her questions. This is like Bryce and the old lady.
The
They're
old
like,
lady
"Are you married?"
who's actually really funny, and she is the only person in this movie who knows what movie she's in.
Yeah, she's like kind of hamming it up.
She's giving a legit like winking at the camera performance, and it works. Like
she's my favorite part. She never rapped, but you know, she had everything.
She didn't rap, but she just had.
That's a very high bar, though,
gumption.
Justin. You can't.
I know.
Come on,
I'd have to go like to a Wayne's Brothers movie for that.
That's like unfair.
We're past. Yeah, even in 2013, I think we're past the rap and granny phenomenon.
I would like to show you a little film called Space Jam 2 to prove that is not the case.
Are you kidding?
No, thank you.
Oh,
Granny has a lot of shtick in that movie.
Boy, oh boy.
Oh God.
Okay, she doesn't rap. I think she breakdances though.
Well, that's just as bad, if not worse.
Brandy wants a job. They're hitting her with these questions, which I don't know if you're allowed to ask people. You're married.
You're allowed to, but they're allowed to say they're allowed to refuse to answer. Anyway, this isn't important. What's important is we get the establishing of Judith's shitty marriage, quote unquote. So he gets home, Bryce is very supportive, but he doesn't like pump her up. He's just like, hey, you'll get your own practice in maybe 10, 15 years. It's like, okay.
He always looks like he's come home from the busiest job you've ever seen.
And he works at a little tiny pharmacy.
And he works at like a tiny little pharmacy.
And also, he's jacked.
Wait, you're skipping.
I can't help it, though. He's just so...
Come on.
Beautiful.
You're skipping way ahead here. So
it wasn't that far ahead.
No. So we go on a date night. And this is, they're walking to their car, and then these three guys are like, whoa, now that's a fine bitch.
Yeah, they're kind of
she starts giving them grief.
She freaks out immediately.
Yeah.
And it is the first of many hilarious Judith freakouts, and it's really funny how bad it is.
And he's trying to calm her down, like, come on, just ignore them, let's go into the car. And she continues to yell at them, just ADR,
it's ADR
while they're in the car, and then they drive away. And then I guess they have the date, and they're kind of in bed at night, and she's giving him grief for not saying something or standing up for her. But it's it's like a bunch of rowdy guys.
It was like 5 big guys.
Yeah, that's how you end up dead. It's like don't
call back, don't yell back, run away.
April, don't ever do this to me. If guys harass you, I'm not standing up for you against for
you're gonna run away without me.
I can't let you in. The door's already locked.
You should have said something. I'll wait and watch out the window.
I need to point out though, before they go out to dinner, she says, that $1.99 buffet gave me a stomach ache. Yet another
$1.99.
I know.
Yet another indication that this is a script from the 1950s, because there is no way. I mean, am I wrong, people? Are there $1.99 buffets in 2013?
I was thinking of Las Vegas or something.
Maybe, but not in DC, I don't think. Anyway.
Yeah, a buffet, all you could eat buffet for $1.99.
Remember the buffet in Fargo? Maybe that's what they're talking about. Remember they go they go to a dining hall.
Oh, I remember the saddest buffet I ever went to was in Las Vegas. The first time I went years ago, and it was one of the kind of hotels that was right at the border before we got back into California. And it was the saddest place. And it was this really old couple. They were sitting right by the buffet, and the woman was crying.
Oh,
she must have been 78 or 80 or something. And the husband was just there, patting her hand and consoling her. And I was automatically just in a bad mood. Oh, God, I felt so bad for her. And
I thought you meant you're ugh, she's ruining my Vegas trip.
No, I felt so bad. And I was like, oh,
Vegas is a terrible place.
Oh, and I'm just and it was completely empty. And then we went to this terrible buffet, and my friend made me pay the $20. It just looked like horrible food. And I wasn't even hungry after looking at it. So I just ate some potato salad, and then I went to the bathroom, and it was all carpeted, by the way, this whole place.
Oh,
it's just really ugly carpet.
Even the bathroom?
And the bathroom was leaking. There was just poop water leaking out from the bathroom onto the carpet. And it was just all you could smell down by the buffet. And wow. Never ever wanted to go back to another one.
Well, I went to the best buffet I've ever had in Vegas.
Oh, really? Where?
Yeah, it was a big fancy one. I looked online at what the fanciest buffet was, because we had enough money that we had saved up, and we went to a big fancy $50 buffet. It was great. Free wine.
I have a free wine. Now you're talking. See, I don't like buffets.
But the one you went sounded like the one from Vegas Vacation.
Yeah, but that's fine. But even just buffets, decent ones, semi-decent ones.
Yeah, it was it was one that was in one of the big hotels.
Yeah.
Wasn't it the Bellagio?
Yeah, the Bellagio.
Yeah, because I think I researched it when we went. It's the famous breakfast.
Yeah.
I've just never wanted to eat that much. Like I can't eat.
Well, you don't have to.
You feel like you have to when you pay. You know, it's like all you can eat. It's like I can't stuff myself like that, so I can't. I never feel.
I mean, other than that, the only good place in Vegas is the Pinball Hall of Fame. What a place that is.
Oh, we never went there.
Gotta go there.
Can you actually play them, or are they just on display?
Oh yeah, no, they're all set up to play. That's what they're there for.
Cool.
And there's so many weird ones too. There's like 2-player pinball machines that are like facing each other. One with magnets. Yeah,
that's
awesome.
pretty cool.
Okay.
That'd be pretty sad. You go to the pinball museum.
All of you can't see it. You can't play it.
They're just behind glass.
Like, why is this here?
No, you can't play
Honestly,
them.
I probably still enjoy that just to look at all of them. But no, you're right. You gotta play them.
But anyway, back to the movie.
Okay.
Let's get out of Vegas.
Okay, so
Yeah, don't tell your man to stand up to a bunch of guys. He will be beaten
that's
to death.
incredibly dangerous.
Yes.
But she doesn't feel happy about that. And now I think is when they have their late night working session to make some special algorithm. And he's like, "You're a genius. You created a singularity or whatever." And she puts a singularity.
I wish there was a singularity. AI.
And that's
I am alive.
Hello, I am the dating robot.
Yeah, that would be really
I am
awesome.
Tylon Perry.
Also, can I just say, this office is gorgeous.
Yeah,
it
it's
is
really
kind
nice.
of like Hannibal Lecter's cell with the
They
glass
do serve
everywhere.
millionaires.
Yeah, but like she's just like, this job sucks, and it's just like this gorgeous office with all these beautiful couches in it, and
Yeah,
it's
and,
a nice
and
set.
her office is like, it's a glass
in the
wall kind of
middle.
cubicle, but it's huge, and it's
Yeah,
got a nice couch, and
it's huge.
she's just complaining, I want to be a marriage counselor.
But isn't it all glass like walls? I hate that. I hate it so much.
It's not ideal, but I mean, most offices I've worked in are open concept anyway, so you don't have walls.
No more open concept offices, please. It's hell.
Yeah, but you needed to socialize, I guess.
No, we don't like those people. You don't want to talk to them.
Well, office
You want
space is expensive.
like when you go into the Cineplex bathrooms now. Even at the urinals, they have like cages around people. It's like, get in your cage and piss.
It's for COVID, right?
No. It's always been like that.
Oh.
Like at the urinals, they have like walls that go way above your head, so you can't even like.
As they
look
should.
at the-
This is something that I've got it in for Canadian urinals, because every time you go to the States, they always have dividers between the urinals.
Oh,
in
it's a
Canada,
Canadian thing,
it's
Do they? I thought it was always like the trow. in
no.
the United
Well, you see that in
States.
some places.
The trough.
But I've seen that here. But in the States, you usually get the dividers. I've never seen a place that doesn't have dividers between, and it's very rare in Canada. And only
I thought
now.
that it was more common. No dividers. I
No.
thought dividers was like.
I don't think.
Well, I guess movies and television have steered me wrong then.
Maybe they're more anti.
How else can you get comedic effect if you look over and you're like, whoa? That's the man beside you's giant dick.
Okay, so Harley starts coming on to Judith, and he says something to the effect of, "Oh, I bet with your husband, you just do it in the bed and you fluff the pillows. If it was up to me, we would
you
have
gotta
sex
do it like an
anywhere.
animal."
Yeah, do it like an
Like
animal.
on the floor like animals." Which
In the
It's
kitchen.
not. It's supposed to be like seductive, but it's just creepy. And so then we get hilarious Judith freak out number 2, which might be my favorite scene in the movie.
Yeah,
because
this is funny.
This is so cringy. I fucking love it. So she comes in. She's acting like she's drunk or on ecstasy or something. Not ecstasy,
she's like,
but
"Ruff, ruff,
yeah.
ruff." I've
She's-
been listening to DMX albums.
She's like,
Do me like an animal.
She's like strutting in, and he's like, "Hey, baby, I made you a sandwich," and she just grabs and is like, "Attack me, attack me!" And he's just like, "What the fuck is up with you?" And she's like, "Scratch me,
"Do me
bite
like an animal."
Yeah, she's like, "Pull my hair, like bite my neck."
Yeah, we watched this a second time today, and I couldn't look at the screen.
It's
I was so embarrassed.
funny, and he's just like, "Hang on." Now, if you want to do this, we'll do this right and go into the bedroom and fluff the pillows. But in the meantime, I'm just going to attack this sandwich, which is a pretty funny line that I don't think they knew was funny. I don't know. But, and she's just like, oh. And that's the end of that. We do find out later that they did have sex. Of course, you can't show it because you can't show sex in this movie.
Yeah, which
This movie is about sex.
okay, which leads to my favorite thing later on, but we won't skip ahead. So she decides to go jogging because it's
this
sort of
scene, which is pretty funny as
it's
well.
sort of like hinted at earlier when she first meets Harley that she knows him. She's like, "Oh, you're the shirtless guy in the park that's always grunting and blah blah blah."
He had seen her in the park. I
Yeah,
guess.
she's getting in her jogging gear and tells Bryce she's going out for her Saturday morning run in the park. And it cuts to the next scene, and it's so funny. She's poking her head out from behind a tree,
Like
and
comically.
it's like a shot from a comedy movie. It's one of those shots where
She's like, "Ooh."
They do
poking her head out?
they do the split screen where like, the tree is like too narrow for the person, but they like poke their head out from the other side. Woo! And she sees him jogging, so she kind of like makes her way down to the path, and he's jacked. He's shirtless. He's jacked.
He's quite lean. He looks greased up.
Yeah. And
puts that olive oil like we all do when we go jogging.
yeah,
it's clearly that's what's going on.
of course.
Yeah, you need to bake, man, in the sun. You don't want an uneven tan.
So then, they start jogging together, but she's sort of trying to not give him the time of day. She's got her headphones in or earphones.
So we should point out, she's been very clear with him. She has no interest in him.
Yeah, she brings up that she has a husband like every conversation because he's like relentlessly flirting with her, inappropriately, because they're in a working relationship. But yeah, so she's like looking the other way, and she smashes into like a cyclist.
Yeah, so this is completely her fault, by the way. She is looking behind her with headphones in.
But instantly, he jumps on this guy. Hey, man, what are you doing? He's grabbing him. He's going to punch him. Like say something. He's not even giving him a chance to say something. And she's just like, hey, I'm okay. But we got to have contrast between the hooligans and Bryce. So she apparently likes this on some level.
Yeah, but he comes off as like a raging psychopath in this scene.
Why would you ever want to be with somebody who just wants to punch random people to defend your honor, I guess, when it was just a simple act.
But it's just the funniest, like, fake acting, like, fake fighting.
Yeah, this time
like
he's freaking out.
Say something. Come on, say something.
Yeah, it's really funny.
So this turns her on because, it's like, all right, this guy's going to stand up for me and, go crazy.
Which is so reductive. Now, reductive is the special word of the day for this movie. It really posits this idea of what women think that they want and how that's wrong and how that leads them down like the wrong path. Like, that's a very religious idea that I've heard spouted, that women want a man to fight for them. They don't, not physically anyway. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah, fight for the relationship, fight to be a good person. Don't literally punch. If some guy accidentally knocked into me and you punched them, I would be upset with you.
You wouldn't be like, Colin, so manly and powerful.
I would say, April, apologize to this man.
Yeah.
I mean, it was your fault, April. You were looking behind you.
Then I'd buy him a drink.
And I'm on the ground.
The guy's like, I'm an Uber delivery person. I make less than minimum wage.
Say something.
Yeah. But no, like, this is not like, maidens and knights in shining armor. Like, this is modern day, and that's a very, very old-fashioned idea that that's what women want.
Well, it gets even worse because she kind of like injures her ankle, and then he carries her back to his apartment.
Of course.
He's got this, crazy billionaire apartment or whatever it is.
And then he starts wrapping her foot in gauze, like, over her pants and socks. Like, dude, that's not how it works, and that's not going to do anything.
Yeah.
Not an expert, but I think you got to at least take the sock off first.
And then Bryce picks her up at the place, and Bryce and Harley kind of meet, and
Well, you missed the part where he's coming on to where he's like, I like your slow breathing.
Oh, God.
And then she's like, suddenly turns to Sherlock, where she's like, I see that you have, alcohol out, and you also have an earring on the table.
Oh,
it seems like somebody else
that's
is here.
right.
I forgot about that. That was very Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah.
It's like she's like, without looking, is picking up on all these signs of that he's a player, essentially, and is seeing other women, which is like, duh.
Of course.
Yeah. So and then I think it's the part where it's her birthday.
Well, first of all, we cut to a scene where they're in the bathroom. Cut back to Judith and Bryce's place.
Shower scene.
Bryce gets out of the... Okay, so I'm thinking, they're setting up Harley to be this, man, he's ripped, he's good looking, he's rich. Bryce gets out of the shower. This guy is huge.
Like,
he's jacked.
Yeah, so he's
I wanted to get into the pharmacy biz because I love steroids. Yeah,
it's the only thing I can think of.
Saying, like, he has the body of like Terry Crews.
He's huge.
A little smaller. Apparently, this guy is on Tyler Perry's sitcom. I can't remember what it's called.
Jacked.
It's called like Meet the Feebles or something like that.
It is not called Meet the Feebles.
No, it's not.
Meet the Feebles. Meet the Feebles.
So
not your average.
Yeah, he's the.
Sorry, I know the whole song.
He's the Tyler Perry actor, in this
Sure.
movie. But anyway, damn.
Yeah, he plays Tyler Perry on the show.
He's beautiful, and it's
he's
just like,
gigantic.
Judith, look what you have at home.
Yeah, I know.
Don't need to be with this other girl.
Yeah, I thought they were
she loves eating pizza, but she can't eat pizza every day. Sometimes she needs, I don't know what the other guy is. What's a good food?
Tacos.
Yeah, sure.
Tacos.
Sure, there you go. But yeah, I thought they were trying to set up a contrast between the two. And it's like, first of all, whenever they show somebody, this is like a little pet peeve in movies, when they show somebody who is always working, always doing stuff, like he's not eating any special meals. You never see him work out.
He's eating that $1.99 buffet.
Seems to come home at the end of the day and just go right to bed because he's so tired. It's like, when is this guy working out? This is like an Olympic athlete body that he's got.
Break. Yeah, I know. Like, again, like he is jacked. And so, like, why did they not just cast like a schlubby guy? I think because Tyler Perry wanted us to say like, you just don't see or appreciate what's right in front of you because she's bored because they've been together since they were 2.
Right.
But then again, in the next scene, he forgets her birthday.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So it's like he's not really the greatest guy. And also it's said that it was the second year in a row.
The second time.
Oh my God.
That's really bad.
Get out of there, lady.
Which is really bad. And
that's bad.
But he's a nice guy. But Justin, he just works so hard at the pharmacy.
At the pharmacy.
You don't understand.
She should be
How hard is he working at the pharmacy?
She should be accusing him of having an affair with those long nights at the pharmacy.
Yeah, and he's counting.
Well, we skipped over the fact that he has a new employee.
No, we didn't.
Well, we introduced Brandy briefly when they were like grilling her about being married.
But we see more scenes with her throughout.
Yeah.
Working.
It's just like scenes of her looking sad and the old woman being like, I think something's wrong with her. I think she's running from someone.
She's the Wicked Witch of the West.
Well, there's one scene where Brandy is leaving for the day, leaving the pharmacy, and she's like, okay, thank you, bye. And she's putting on this sort of like hoodie, and she kind of looks like Green Arrow or something like that. She's got this like...
She's going to go be a vigilante in the street.
It's not a regular hoodie. It's like this kind of longish... It looks like a superhero outfit or something.
It's a bit capist.
Yeah, and then the old lady's like, oh, something's up with her. And then we see Brandy showing up at her apartment, and then she's looking around the apartment with a baseball bat. So you kind of...
And it's like a tiny, like the shittiest apartment you can imagine.
Yeah, so clearly she's trying to hide from somebody or doesn't want to be recognized.
Save that for later.
Yeah, so...
Put a pin in that.
Ding Dong Bryce forgets Judith's birthday 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
But she shows up at work, and there's flowers waiting for her, like roses. And she's like, oh, my husband sent me flowers.
I thought he forgot, but he didn't.
And then she goes into her office. Harley shows up, and he's like, oh, did you like my flowers? She's like, oh, I thought my husband gave them to me.
She's pretty upset about it, justifiably. So this goes with what she said.
2 years in a row.
At the beginning of the movie, the marriage counselor is like, I bet he buys you flowers.
Well, this is
another very reductive thing. The idea that women only want flowers.
Well, first of all, she shows up in the office before she gets the flowers. Kim Kardashian, again, is like insulting her, how shitty she looks. Not at all.
But she's also saying, how dare you not wear high heels? And she's like, my foot hurts. I sprained it.
She's like, oh, throw me out a window. You're wearing flats.
Yeah.
And then she's like, and then Judith's saying, it's my birthday. I thought I'd change my hair and I put on makeup. And then Kim Kardashian says, that's not makeup. That's make down.
That's make down. Great lines in this, I tell you. And they gave her all the bad ones.
Yeah. And then like Harley, he's just hitting on her relentlessly. It's disgusting.
Well, I think, is this when he says like, I just need you to be close to you?
He goes, I want to be with you intimately.
Yeah. And then she's like, you're okay with the fact that I have a husband? He's like, duly noted or something.
Yeah, right. I saw him the other day. He's very, very basic or, whatever.
Come on. Well, he's not basic in the next scene.
Oh, man. Yes.
This is his big moment.
So, yeah,
of the
Bryce
movie.
Bryce gets home from another long day at the pharmacy.
Oh, all that inventory.
The empty pharmacy that nobody comes into. And then she's like bought a muffin or something, like a birthday muffin with a cupcake. And
just to stick it to him that like, you forgot my birthday.
She puts it in the kitchen so he'll see.
Good move. Instead of like screaming at him.
Yeah. And then he realizes, oh man, I forgot your birthday. She's like, oh, it's the second year in a row. And then to apologize.
He does the only thing he can think of, which is put on a performance of Try a Little Tenderness in a cowboy hat And is he wearing underwear or short shorts?
He's wearing boxer shorts, and he's got an acoustic guitar.
Scandalous.
Yeah.
Oh, this was Justin. We were like watching this again today for the second time, and I was like just skipping through. When I got the gist, and April's like, "Don't skip this scene
because it's hilarious." And also,
we skipped one of the best lines too that I wrote in my notes when she's talking to the tech billionaire, and she goes, "He's like, you've never had sex with anybody else?" She's like, "I watch HBO. I know I'm not missing anything."
That was a good line because it's recognizing how tawdry HBO is. I guess.
But HBO's not that tawdry.
I don't know, like Game of Thrones. Yeah, but if you were,
in the universe of this movie, I guess.
But if you were from a
X-rated
religious bathroom.
Yeah, she's watching Big Love. She's like, oh my
religious
God.
background.
Bill Paxton, I mean. Oh no, I got confused again.
I used to watch that show a little bit.
Yeah, so he's doing this. He puts on Otis Redding and he's dancing around with like shirtless. He's not even playing the guitar. He's like trying to play the guitar with a cowboy
it's just
hat.
A prop.
She's laughing. They're having a great time. All is forgiven, right?
Well,
right? Isn't that what you do with Emily, Justin, when you forget her birthday 4 times in a row?
I play a guitar. I'm in a cowboy hat. I don't have a cowboy hat though. Unfortunately,
I don't know. You put on a gorilla mask.
Yeah, love it. That's how it goes.
So I think next is the New Orleans trip. So what I love about this movie is that there is just all these sections of scenes, and each one is funnier than the last.
It's called a montage, and this is my favorite part of the movie. It's so. It's like something out of a comedy movie.
Yeah, Tyler Perry's a master of tone and bouncing randomly between them.
It's so bad. It's like, first of all, they get to the airport and they're on his private jet. So it's just Harley and Judith on this jet. He's drinking champagne.
Before that, Vanessa Williams encouraged her to flirt with him because she knows he likes her, and then also says, "Be careful."
Yeah, flirt.
So what are you saying? Flirt with him, but also be careful.
Carry a knife.
She didn't say that, but it's like, what are you talking about? Anyway,
that's what she's implying.
She
was saying it with her eyes.
The thing is, this probably happens all the time at offices around the world of, bosses telling their hot employees, "Oh, just flirt with this client because we really need this account."
She's stressing, like, this is a big deal for me. Like,
yeah, so don't screw this up.
Yeah.
So she's under pressure from her.
So this New Orleans montage is it's just so like corny and set to when the Saints go marching in.
Well,
it's like them doing the presentation, but it's like acting.
It's like stock footage. They're like high-fiving in front of a board.
Yeah, and pointing to the board with their hands. They're not saying anything.
With the graph on it.
And like thumbs up.
They eat beignets. They have some rum punches. They're on a horse and carriage around the streets.
Yeah.
They're watching a band, a singer in the middle of the
It's like all the
square.
most New Orleans things you can do. They're drinking like hurricanes. And I think, when they're on the horse and carriage, they go by a store and it says Gumbo Store. Mm-hmm. It's like, we're in New Orleans town.
Well, I was saying, like, this is a trope of romantic comedies or romantic movies. Mm-hmm. Just the montage of we had a fun day.
The only thing they don't do is like ice cream, and they like put it in each other's face.
Yeah, but he does put the powdered sugar on her nose.
He does, yeah.
The beignet.
Which
is a foreshadowing to the future of their relationship.
Because there's cocaine.
Yeah.
And this delightful, funny montage is followed up by sexual assault on the plane. On the way back, he kind of forces himself on her.
And like, it's very, very uncomfortable. She's like pushing him away, and then he says this weird thing where he says, "Now you can say you resisted." Don't really understand what that means. And then like she stops fighting him and just like lets it happen. And like she looks awful afterwards, like she has been assaulted because she has. And then her mom shows up.
Yeah, so
he's quite the character.
Harley drops her off home, and just as Bryce and Judith's mom are like pulling up, I guess the mom is visiting from the south.
I forgot to mention that she's an insanely religious.
She's a reverend.
Yeah.
So she meets, Harley and knows that something's up right away.
Well, it's a mother's intuition. I don't want to say it's because she's like connected to the Lord and can sense the devil, because that's stupid. But that seems to be what is implied by the movie.
Yeah, he's in the red car, and she keeps referring to him as the devil in the red car.
Yeah. It's like, that's my coworker, Mom. Can you stop? But I mean, she does turn out to be right.
It's true.
Yeah. So so they have this very awkward dinner, and she's just like saying, you need to come back to church. You need to call in for morning prayer. And it's very uncomfortable because this is like the night after she's been assaulted. This shit.
And then, Harley calls her one night during the football game.
I think
so
it's
Bryce
like the next
is distracted.
day or something.
And then she makes an excuse like, my boss called and I have to go.
Yeah, so she just goes running like, she breaks immediately.
The mom's reaction, though, it's like, what?
They're calling you to come in now?
So late.
She knows what's up.
So we get the bathtub sex scene.
Which is really funny.
It's so funny.
You can't even call it a sex scene. First of all, it is not those two actors. It is 100% stand-ins.
Well, you can't tell because there is so much CG smoke layered on top of them.
I know.
It's because it's the sins of hell bubbling up.
What temperature is this bathtub?
They couldn't even have the sense of nudity, not even the idea of nudity. You can't, but like, I bet you there are people who saw that and were like, "Oh, that's scandalous." They look like a couple of ghosts.
It's
you
so
can't
weird.
see anything.
We'll have it like, maybe darker, more moodily lit. It's sort of
or shadows even. Like this just looks stupid.
Yeah, it's so funny, and it's ridiculous because you can't see them. It's just,
I know, it's really funny.
They would be boiling alive. They're like lobsters, like boiling in this bathtub.
And it's like 10 seconds or something. Yeah, it's really fast.
And then it cuts to them in the kitchen, and it's implied that he's doing cocaine.
You see a little vial of cocaine for like a split second.
You see his like rolled up dollar or something that he's snorting it through.
No, I thought you saw, I swear you see like a little vial of something white. But anyway, the point is it's so fast because again, they can't really show people doing drugs.
Well, he's got the rolled up dollar, but it goes behind like a fruit bowl. So you don't know what he's doing, and I missed it the first time.
I think I saw it. But anyway, what's weird is like there's such a thing as like afterglow after you had really good sex, I guess, but she acts like she had a lobotomy. Like she is acting so stupid now for the rest of the movie because, and I think it's implying that once you have sex with the devil, you're under mind control or something. Because,
or don't you mean once the devil sexually assaults you, then you're dumb?
His seed is in you. I mean, she has been drinking wine or whatever, but he's just like, how about this? Leave that place and I'll help you start your marriage counseling firm. And she's like, you will? You do that for me?
Yeah,
this is like, she is now a 5-year-old. It was like, and then due to the freak out number 3.
But he says, but I'll do that, but you have to ditch Bryce. And
she says something along the lines of like, but I love him, and he's just like, fine, there's the door, leave. And she flips. She's like, wait, you're kicking me out of your apartment? Take this, and she throws a bunch of croissants really hard at him, and spills wine on him, and she storms out. So it's just like
he's laughing when he's
she
eating.
Just did some cocaine. I guess. Did you know cocaine causes I was gonna say it causes intense mood swings, but she always has these mood swings. So I think it's just bad writing and bad acting.
Probably. Well, she gets back home and mom knows something's up.
Yeah,
because she's a preacher, and that means she's got psychic powers with the Lord.
Didn't you know?
It's true. So they fight, and I guess it's revealed that like the mom says, "Oh, your dad's dead" or something, like rest in peace. And
there's like more backstory.
The daughter Judith reveals that, oh no, I looked him up. He's actually living on the other side of town.
And she left you when you joined the church.
Yeah, so the mom joined the church and dumped the dad and took the daughter.
No, I think the father left her because she became too religious or something. Anyway, it's just it's needless backstory, but it's just like, okay, sure.
So then the mom like slaps her. They get into a fight and
she says that man is going to put you down a hard.
He's going to drag you to hell or something.
And she says, well, then I'll enjoy the ride. And then she slaps her, and it's just like,
I've been to New Orleans.
She's in full Joker mode.
New Orleans.
I'm gonna have some Cajun style, the devil's spice.
Spicy Cajun.
I so want Wilford Brimley from Hard Target to be in this.
Oh yeah,
Don't you talk to your mother?
But is he a good guy or a bad guy?
What?
He's a
in
good
this?
guy. Oh, you mean in this?
Yeah, my diabetes.
Oh, he's good. No, in this one, he's a good guy. He's like a friend of the mom. Don't you talk to your mother like that, woman.
He's the dad that abandoned.
I was gonna say he starts dating Vanessa Williams with the bad French accent.
Oh, I'm a billionaire.
Two bad French accents, although his was okay.
I've got a billion dollar gumbo business.
He rides in on a horse with like a bow and arrow.
As everything is just exploding behind him.
Exploding around. Yeah.
So Judith starts seeing Harley, right? Like,
oh no, yeah, Wilford Brimley comes in. He needs to talk about infection.
yeah.
Well,
infection starts to play a big part of it.
We get a montage set to a very sad song with some very on the
Wait,
nose.
is Colin just getting like a New Orleans accent?
A very sad song. It's
very on the nose lyrics.
It's a Zydeco song.
It's not.
No, it's called. It has some very on the nose lyrics.
It's something along the lines of
"I'm in love with another man."
I'm in love with another man. It's a montage of her cheating on
Written,
Bryce.
sung, performed by Tyler Perry.
Yeah, with Harley, and it's not even like we're seeing them like have sex, of course, because we can't. He's just like taking her around to the new building that's going to be her new marriage counseling
They have
office,
car sex.
Oh, right.
Which cuts to the next scene of them drinking wine and doing cocaine.
Oh yeah, right. Is it in the kitchen again?
Yeah.
I mean, that's their breakfast routine, I guess.
Yeah, the old wine and coke routine.
And croissants,
He's taking her out for clothes, and again, it's like she's trying on all these fancy clothes.
Yeah, that's supposed to show you that materials are bad.
But then when they go outside, it's like every single store, it looks like it's a fake movie set from the 1950s. It's a very...
It probably is. It's on Tyler Perry's Atlanta lot.
It looks like very, very small town 1950s. Nowhere where like a billionaire would be shopping.
This movie tries to have it both ways, and also it probably was reusing sets. I wonder what this movie cost, like what the budget was. I'm guessing pretty low. Because there's not like any big action scenes or no huge stars.
Oh, aren't there?
I mean, Tyler Perry probably just like asked like Vanessa Williams to be in it, and she probably did it just because she wanted to do him a favor.
I don't think it works that way. I'm sure she got paid scale.
Maybe not.
The
for
actors
free.
are appearing like as a
They're
favor
not allowed
to Tyler
to act
Perry.
for free.
I don't need to pay rent or food. I'm good.
Yeah. So anyway, Bryce is at work and he's like, I think I lost Judith, and Brandy's like, you got to go to her and you got to tell her how much you love her and that you're going to change. So she pumps him up. And so Bryce finds Judith at Harley's house, of course. And this scene is hilarious because it's supposed to be like Sodom and Gomorrah.
Yeah, it's like this debaucherous party or something.
But it just looks like a regular cool party, guys.
Yeah, it's like I've been to parties.
Not
like
cool in my book, but yeah, it looks like
it just looks like
it's
a standard.
hot people, and like, oh my god, there's a guy talking to two girls. There's two guys that are kind of close to each other, so therefore they must be gay. Like it's very obvious that there are gay people at this party, and that's evil.
But it's it's so tame though. So it's just
she's just like sitting on a couch, like
it just looks like any industry party that I've been to. That's just boring.
And because you can't actually have drugs out, she just needs to act high, and like some of the people are acting kind of like drunk.
And I think a guy walks by shirtless and he has all these tattoos on him or something.
Are you sure he didn't have like a snake on him?
And with an apple.
Speaking of which, did you see the poster for this movie, Justin?
Oh my God.
It's like a snake in the shape of an apple, like.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Justin,
it's up on my wall.
Justin is not having any of it.
So anyway,
no, it's up on my wall. I'm a big fan.
It's one of those minimalistic.
Listen, I was just insulted because I find this film not funny at all. I take it very seriously. It kind of reflects my own choices and morals in life. So for you to laugh at it, how dare you?
For you to make fun of red wine cocaine parties.
White wine. It's white because the cocaine is white. Come on.
You and Emily just lie across the dining room table for no reason.
Eat this croissants.
We all know red wine is the evil wine.
Oh, it's the devil's drink.
Isn't that the line from Troll 2? Where they're like, can I have some coffee? And that weirdo is like, we don't have coffee. That's the devil's drink. I think that's from the convenience. Anyway,
I wouldn't be surprised.
So Bryce confronts her and she just says, like, she's all drugged out and she's just like, I'm leaving you. Like, I feel dead when I'm with you.
He gives a good performance in this scene, I have to say. His tears
good.
are like pouring out of his face.
He's definitely cheesy in this movie, but he's one of the better actors. And like, we're supposed to, like, other than when he forgets her birthday, we're supposed to sympathize with him, and like I do. Like, he's maybe not like the most exciting husband, but you can't help but be on his side. He loves
her, he likes her, he takes care of her. He's I don't know, forgets her birthday 2 times.
All he did was forget her birthday twice.
Could happen to anyone, Justin, 2 years in a row.
Yeah, and so he leaves and smashes the door in his car.
Yeah,
and it comes from the bottom of the window, which is funny.
Rolled the window down, and I we kind of stopped and rewound it a couple of times because April was like, is that CG glass?
Because I thought it was CG.
It kind of comes from nowhere, but yeah. So the window's rolled down, and I looked it up on IMDb, and he actually did. He slams the door.
It comes from nowhere?
Yeah, the window shatters and comes out of the door.
It comes up. It's really, well, when you find out that like it wasn't CG, it was real, it's just like movie magic. And Tyler Perry was like, leave that in.
Leave it in. Let's do another take.
Okay.
No, wait, yeah. Tyler Perry doesn't do 2 takes. He's a 1 take kind of guy.
We've already...
I'm not even joking. Like, a lot of the actors said that he does 1
really?
take. Ooh. And even if, like, a wig looks crazy, they're like,
like Medea's wig?
Yeah, well, no, like, the Netflix film he made, there's, like, famous bad wig, like, shot from shot.
What movie was that?
Don't remember. I'd have to look it up.
Well, we're going to get to some bad old age makeup soon.
Well, we are actually pretty much at the end of this movie, so we have to talk about poor Brandy at this point. She is revealed to have AIDS.
HIV.
Sorry, HIV.
Because I think like Bryce is like...
She also dated Harley.
Yeah, that's kind of revealed in a bit, but she kind of name drops Harley. So the ex that she's been avoiding... the entire movie is Harley.
Yeah, and
what are the goddamn chances?
Yeah, I mean, and she mentions earlier, like, oh, he showed up at my pharmacy. Like, it just makes no sense.
There was a scene where you hear a voice. She's kind of working on the shelves and stuff, and you hear a voice going like, talking to the old lady, like, where's this place? Oh, that's across town. And
that was supposed to be him?
Brandy's reacting, but I don't remember it sounding like him, or I don't know. So again, they're misleading you.
But like, you think that Brandy and Bryce are going to make out, and then she's just like, what are you doing? We're not attracted to each other. It's like, okay. But then you find out that she's saying that because she's HIV positive, so of course she's scared to be with anybody, and she has PTSD.
Right. But we get back to Harley's house, and they've just got they kind of like show up to Bryce's place, and the mother's there,
and he has to get her laptop.
He ends up pushing the mom, and then they get into a huge fight when they get back to Harley's house.
It is like the most dramatic scene ever. Yeah. I can't even give it justice. I was so much yelling and screaming.
I was saying it's like Casino.
It is like Casino.
It's like watching Sharon Stone trying to clear out.
She's in the big walk-in closet.
Yeah, she's trying to clear it, and I was like, oh god,
because she's just like, you pushed my mother, and he's just like, you didn't take my side, and it's just like, okay, of course he's an abusive anger,
and he starts beating her. He's like, you're gonna leave me, and then he starts smacking her around, and then we cut to Bryce breaking in. He just like kicks in his door.
Well, you missed that before. There's an important scene before that where he's cooking dinner at Brandy's place.
Yeah, that's where she reveals that.
Yeah, but. She's like, I never thought I'd get away from Harley, and he's like, Harley, and she's like, yeah, the face range guy, or is there a classmate guy, and then he just goes, Judith.
Oh yeah,
Judith. Like, no.
And she's like,
as he like rushes in.
What about Judith?
Judith.
And he runs out the door.
Yeah, he kicks in the door, and then he's just running around the house. Judith.
And you go opening doors, and then they fall through a glass window.
No, he finds Ravine, and then he starts beating up Harley, who's like passed out drunk on the bed.
Well, he had to medicate himself after beating up his girlfriend.
So then they get in a fight, and then he throws him through a glass window.
which is really funny. And then Brandy's like, "It's me, Karen." And did she like kick him? I don't think she does.
I don't think so.
In my brain, that's what she did.
Yeah, and then they just leave him. So that's kind of like the comeuppance that he gets.
He finds a Journey in the bath, and he's just like, "What did he do to you?" And she's like, "I deserve it." It's so sad because, I mean, you know, she's just mentally, physically, completely wrecked by this affair, because that's what happens, people.
And then we cut back to the present, and the lady, you know, we're back to our marriage counselor talking to the lady who is kind of having an affair or about to.
And the lady is enraptured in the story.
The lady's crying, and she says, "Did Judith get HIV too?" She says yes. But Bryce didn't.
What about Bryce?
Because he's a good man.
No.
And then she says,
"Where's Judith now?"
And then she's...
Oh, you skipped a really... Wait, where she's like, I'm broken. And then she goes, here. She points at her heart.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God,
when he finds her in the tub, that's like the corniest thing I've ever said. I've ever heard.
Anyway, so back to the present, right? And then she says to the marriage counselor, "I'm going to end this almost affair and stay with my husband."
Yeah, wasn't that like an ADR line too?
It sounded like it, yeah, but it's like...
It wasn't clear. We had to record that.
It's the most like stilted reading. "I'm going to end this almost affair."
You know, the whole thing you were saying, Justin, about the one take thing makes a whole lot of sense now. Why this movie is so bad.
Okay, so then the marriage counselor, we see her leaving her office. And by the way, she does not look old at all. I mean, she looks like
40.
Maybe 40.
Yeah.
But she has white in her hair. She's like limping.
She is shuffling
AIDS.
like a zombie.
She has AIDS.
No, I don't think so.
Okay, but she didn't say she didn't. She
has HIV.
She's HIV positive.
Okay, but she could have gotten AIDS.
Yeah, I think the implication is that she does have AIDS because she goes to the pharmacy and he's like, "See you next month for your medication."
Because
yeah,
she's
but you
sick.
have to. If you have HIV, you take medication.
Okay, but why is she limping?
That's what I was laughing at, because there's no reason.
Fine. Anyway, we go to the pharmacy.
She's shuffling like a zombie. Like she walks like an 80-year-old.
I think she has gout.
You don't.
Okay. Wow. April's really reading.
Wait, are you a doctor? Get out of here.
Look, she has gout. She is eating too many livers, not getting enough
She's
vegetables.
drinking all that red wine, eating red meat.
It's
all that red wine and croissants that she had with Harley. I mean,
So
it
then
really got back to her.
Yeah, and then she goes into the pharmacy. Brandy hugs her. Brandy looks exactly the same.
Yeah.
So
they did. But Brandy was probably just like,
I'm not putting
a gray
makeup
wig
on
me. Yeah.
And then she goes up to the pharmacy. Bryce is there, who looks exactly the same, except he's got just a little spray of gray in his hair.
He's got a really bad either wig or they sprayed
It's not
his
a wig.
head.
You can see they sprayed his hair because there's like a line between.
So the way that they're aged up, they were supposed to be in their mid to late 20s, so it's at least 20 years later.
I don't even think that.
I know, but the way that they're aged up,
it's been 2 years.
well, now Bryce has a young hot wife and a 5-year-old child.
Yeah, exactly. So Brandy looks the same. Bryce is slightly older. Judith is a completely different person.
Yeah,
she's a completely different person.
It changed her. She got AIDS or HIV, and her heart is broken,
I guess.
Yeah.
And so are her legs because she shuffles like. And the movie.
She's got gout, Colin. We've already covered this.
She walks out of the pharmacy, and the movie ends. Credits going up as she shuffles away from camera so slowly, and this continues for so long. And yeah, you'd think it's like a 90-year-old just going.
Yeah,
it's a sad song. It's like, oh my God Almighty, so cheesy.
Anyway, that's the movie.
You've been judged by Tyler Perry.
I really, really love this movie. I think it's very enjoyably bad. I think it's hilarious. Maybe you have to be a fan of romantic dramas. I don't know.
You watch a lot of romance movies.
I do not.
You do too.
Oh, if I do, they're usually at least rom-coms.
Yeah.
This is not a com at all. It's a drama.
Oh, you were laughing.
Well, of course, it was a comedy to me. But anyway, it's on Netflix. If any of these
No,
things...
it's on Prime.
Oh, yeah, sorry. It's on Amazon Prime, at least in Canada. So if any of these things appeal to you, I would totally recommend this movie because it's really easy to watch. At least it's not, like, ugly to look at. Journey Smollett is so funny in this movie. And Bryce is cute. And... the script is hilarious. So
Yeah.
there's so many good things.
Journey Smollett is the sister of Jussie Smollett.
I just learned that. Yes,
He's the dude who faked a MAGA attack on him.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
really? The guy from Empire.
Yeah.
They're brother and
Never seen
sister,
Empire.
and they have like 5 siblings, and they all have like really funny names, like Jazz.
Wait, who's their parents?
I don't know.
There have to be someone famous.
I don't know.
Anyway, that's it for this week. Check out that movie if you want to. It's on Amazon Prime. And if you want to email the podcast, we're at nosuchthingasabadmovie@gmail.com. You can tweet at us at nosuchthingpod, and we're on Patreon, patreon.com/nosuchthingасabadmovie. And if you subscribe at the $5 level, you get a little bonus episode every 2 weeks. And if you're on the $2 level and up, you can be entered in for our tri-monthly draw to pick. I'm making up a new word.
I think the word that you're looking for is quarterly.
I guess so, yeah. Our quarterly pick to pick an episode, which is coming up soon, I think, in a few episodes now. So get in on that. And if you want to find me online, I'm on Twitter and Instagram at April at Mansky.
You can follow me on Twitter at DeClueJ. And just a reminder that if you want to get some out-of-print Gold Ninja video discs, there's only a few days left if you're listening to this on the day that it drops. The Gold Ninja Video Indiegogo page. Go to goldninjavideo.com for more information.
You can follow me on Twitter, Sergeant Zima, SGTZIMA.
Wait, speaking of Gold Ninja video stuff, this week's Patreon is a special one, isn't it, April?
Yes, so for the Gold Ninja Telethon, which happened last week, we did a little special commentary for a movie that has come up a few times, one of our favorites, Parole Violators. And since I know lots of people probably missed it or maybe didn't know it was happening, the Patreon ep next week is going to be the full-length audio commentary for that. So you can sync it up yourself to watch with the Parole Violators, which is available on YouTube, or just listen to it on its own, because we talk about a lot of stuff not related to the movie.
Colin tells the funniest story you've ever heard.
Yeah, there is a really funny story on it.
I was laughing about that story like laying in bed that night.
It was funny because my mom was over while the telethon was going on, so I just had my iPad up as we were watching like TV. And I had the audio down, and I was just watching, the chat and us doing the commentary, and then your head just went down, and then the whole chat was just like LOL, ha ha ha, LOL, and I knew exactly that was the moment I told the story.
Yeah, it was a good time.
That's very funny.
And Colin, where can the people find you?
I just said on Twitter, Sergeant Zima.
Sorry.
SGTZIMA.
Sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
God damn it.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Story of my life. You know what?
Listen, all she wants to do is go watch Temptations, Marriage of
I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna go to one of those matchmaking businesses for people.
For VFX
for rich
artists.
people, for millionaires like Colin.
For VFX people.
Fine,
VFX people.
go.
Set me up with some nerd.
Okay, thank you for listening, everybody, and make sure you don't have an affair because you might end up with AIDS. That's what Tyler Perry says. Don't. That's what he said.
Yeah.
I'm April Mansky.
I'm Justin the Clue.
And I'm Colin Cunningham.
And remember, there's no such thing as a bad movie.